Hey everybody, it's Dr. J again, and today I'm here with Chad. And Chad is someone who came to our office with really big concern, a lot of numbness and tingling down his left leg, just a little bit of his history. He's had 2 low back surgeries. The last one was about 15 years ago, but unfortunately for the last 10 plus, again, this left leg has been constantly numb, constant tingling there as well. Chad also is having a lot of bad, really debilitating headaches as well. So, Chad, can you talk a little bit? I mean, you had those surgeries, right, about 15 years ago or so? Okay.
Yep.
And that sounds about right. So about the last 10 or so?
About the last 10 or so years has been numbness, tingling.
Yeah. What is it? Can you tell people, like, what is that? Most people can't identify with that. What does that feel like, or how does that, what's that like to have that whole leg with numbness and tingling all the time?
Kind of like having a dead stump, I guess. I guess that's how you can explain it.
Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. Did it? Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Like you can control it, but you just don't. I don't know. It's like it's sleep 24/7.
Yeah.
Really.
Gotcha. Oh man, annoying to say the least.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. Yeah. And then the headaches. You said you've been dealing with those for about the last year or so, and getting about once a week. That was pretty well debilitating.
Yeah, there for
right?
a little bit. It was about once a week. Migraine once a week.
Okay. Yeah. And those. I mean, could you work? Could you do much of anything?
No, I was pretty much bedridden.
Bedridden, just like let me in the dark room,
Yeah,
leave me alone.
Sometimes it was even emergency room shot to get.
Oh, is that right? You would have to sometimes go in to get a shot just to
Yeah.
get. Holy smokes! Gotcha. Okay. Well, that gives you kind of an idea of what Chad was dealing with before he got to the office. So next, I want to show you, what we found on his X-rays, what we found with our instrument to find where these problems were coming from, and then also we're going to show some adjustments. And then at the end here, we're going to find out from Chad, how things have changed. So stay tuned. So where Chad had his surgeries was down here at his 5th lumbar, and that's where he's had 2 surgeries down there with those bulges, and to give you an idea, that disc has gotten very, very worn down. If we take a look at this disc here, this is the one between his 3rd lumbar and 4th lumbar. That's actually a pretty healthy disc. That's pretty nice and thick, going all the way through here. But if we compare that to the one down here, again, you can see how worn down that has gotten. And then also, I want to show you what's happening in his neck as we take a look up here. Well, there should be a curve in the neck that goes this direction, kind of like a soft C-shaped curve. Well, what's happened in Chad's situation is he's lost that curve. It's very straight, as you can see, and it's also leaning forward. We've also got a lot of degenerative disc disease, definitely some significant advance in bone spurs in there. The discs are gotten very worn down, so that helps explain why he's getting those headaches, and also, too, he had a lot of tightness and stiffness in the neck as well. That makes a lot more sense once we have those X-rays to be able to see what's going on with his spine. So a couple years after the last surgery that Chad had, again, the first 2 surgeries that he had was the type of surgery where they go in. This is not Chad's films here, but what they do is they go in and cut off the part that's bulging out. Well, a few years after the 2nd surgery, he was still having a lot of those symptoms, so what they were recommending was he was to have this type of surgery, which is what they call a fusion surgery, where they're fusing those bones, they go with screws, connect those screws. There's more to it than that, but that's it in a nutshell. But that's what they were recommending, was that he have a fusion surgery to fuse those bones together. He decided not to have that done, and that's where he was at. So this is the instrument that we use to help find where the nerve pressure, where the problem is coming from. If there's pressure on a nerve, it's going to give off heat. And so what this instrument does is it measures temperature. So you'll see right here in just a moment, that needle is going to start really jumping around here, right there. When we see that needle quickly jump like that, that tells us where there's nerve pressure. And that's where we've been adjusting Chad for quite some time. Now, when he first came in, that needle was jumping almost way over like it is now, even more so, though. Tons of nerve pressure. We've been adjusting Chad for a while, so there's not quite as much. But you can still see there still is a fair amount of nerve pressure in there. And we're just going to skip down to his low back here. Turn that back on. And we'll see what we're finding here today. Yeah, so right there. So not as much as what we saw in the upper back, but yeah, just right there. Not a whole lot of nerve pressure. If you can kind of come in just a little bit closer, you'll be able to see right there is a scar from the surgeries that he has had. So we're just counting down. Where we're going to work is on his second thoracic, and so just found that spot here. I'm just going to set my hand here. I'm just going to do a nice, light, easy adjustment. Drop on in there. There we go. Very good. The misalignment that was causing the pressure on that nerve, that's the sciatic nerve that's traveling down his leg, was due to a misalignment of his left hip. So we're going to go ahead and adjust that again today. Good. That's what we're looking for. Excellent. All right, good. Come on up. Well, now we get an opportunity to find out more from Chad about what's changed. Again, one of the things that we talked about in the X-ray we didn't talk about before. I just want to talk about it for a second now. Is again, a few years after that second surgery, they were recommending another surgery, which was going to be a fusion. And you weren't real thrilled about the sound of that.
Not at all.
Not at all. Okay, so chose not to do that. And okay, so just been kind of ever since. Been what have you been doing? Anything in the meantime, or just kind of
just living with the pain?
Just living with the pain, and that like you said, that stump leg, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Well, go ahead and let's start talking about that leg. What has anything changed? What's been going on since you've been getting adjusted here at the office?
The biggest thing is I'm getting feeling down in my toes, and yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Gotcha.
Feeling,
you actually feel your toes again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it feel like you have less of a stump, or not really a stump anymore? Do you feel like you have?
No, it feels like there's a leg there.
There's a leg again.
It's a really odd feeling after so many years of. Yeah, it's just really.
I remember you saying that, especially with the toes. Like you're like, I can actually like feel some things now. So. Yeah. Gosh, that's so cool. That's just like for most people, it's just like that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
really
great.
strange.
And then also those headaches again. I mean, you're getting about once a week where it was just shut down and can't do much of anything. And how long has it been since you've had one of those types of headaches? Been quite a while.
It's been a really long time since I've had a migraine.
Yeah.
So long I can't.
Yeah.
Really, I don't even know.
That's awesome. And I'm assuming you don't miss those.
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay. All right. Well, Chad, has been absolutely privileged to help you out and get your health back and get your quality of life back and get your leg back as well here. So thanks again for watching, guys. Dr. J here, and we'll see you next time.